Hey, what's up, everybody? This is your boy AJ Trip, and welcome to That's a Shoot. This episode is the WrestleMania 36 predictions episode, and full notice here. This is being recorded the week before. This you are actually watching this. Usually, I do it on the day of, where I do it and I post it on the same day. But this one, I decided to do the week before for a myriad of reasons. One, Uh, WrestleMania is being taped, and it has been taped. If any spoilers would come out, I didn't want to have any type of spoilers, affect my predictions. So I didn't want that. I didn't want that. So that was one. Um, and I also just felt like that next week was going to be a big week. There was no sense of me trying to um, since WrestleMania is 2 days, no sense of trying to me to do a predictions episode on the day of, um, on the day of, and then also then the day before, I do have like school and everything like that to do on that Friday, going to online school, so I gotta have probably enough time to finishing the editing of this video, but I didn't know if I had time to do it, like record it and everything like that and put it out in time. So there's a lot of reasons why I decided just to do this beforehand. So that's why I've that's why I'm coming to you from the past. um, so yeah, I think I think what's going to happen. So I'm gonna just go ahead and do my normal predictions video, um, and we'll see how it goes. I've been keeping track of it all year long, and I'm pretty good. I'm like 17-4, something like that. I think I am. So gonna keep track of it this day. Um, you are watching this on the Friday before the first night of WrestleMania, so make sure you catch me tomorrow for the rapid reaction of WrestleMania 36 Night 1. I still will be doing that as well. And also we're doing a rapid reaction of Night 2 this Sunday. So we're going to have some fun, I think, over these. And we're at least going to try to have some fun. We need to try to have fun in this era that we live in now. I like to call it the new reality that we are living in right now. It's not a normal. This is not normal. We should not normalize this. This is just our new reality. So while we are doing that, I will as well be I will be going through the matches that as of tape date have been announced. There's rumors that we are going to get the Nikki Cross, Alexa Bliss versus Asuka and Kairi Sane match for the women's tag team titles, but that has not been announced again at the time of this recording. So I will not predict that, and if that match happens, that won't, well, we'll see. I will see that because again, like I'm saying, um, I am recording this the week before you guys are going to see this. So if it is announced, I possibly will make a prediction and then put it up in the thing. Um, yeah, once I do the editing next week. Um, Also, Roman Reigns has been he has taken himself out of the Universal title match against Goldberg, and it's there's rumors that it's going to be Braun Strowman. That being said, that replaces Roman. That being said, they are still going through the whole thing as if Roman is uh, um, going to release on TV. So who knows? Who knows when he decided? Who knows if he decided that if he decided like during the tapings, or if he taped the SmackDowns and then he decided, well, I just don't feel comfortable doing WrestleMania, so he didn't do WrestleMania. Who knows what's going to happen? It's supposed to be a face-to-face between Goldberg and Roman Reigns next week on SmackDown, so we'll see what happens, and we'll see if we hear anything about that. But as for that match, I would not predict that match either, due to the fact again that we don't know what's going to happen, and we probably won't know again until at the earliest next Friday. So I would not be predicting the Alexa Bliss Kabuki Warriors match. for the women's tag team titles, and I will not be predicting um, the uh, the um, the the oh Jesus Christ. Um, I just said the Universal title match. And the other two matches have been changed. Andrade has not been feeling well. He was taken out. Austin Theory was put in his place for the Raw tag team title match, so we'll see what that happens. And The Miz is sick. This is one of the reasons. This is actually one of the reasons why I think Roman decided to go, because The Miz was feeling a little sick. So it's on. So I'm going to predict what is happening. I'm going to predict that match, but that match could be changed, and, so, and at that point, and if it's changed before I edit next week, then obviously when I come back to this and do it in post production, you will I'll let you know everything like that. Otherwise, there's not going to be the prediction I will make will be disbarred from the record because the match will have changed. So I hope you guys get that. I hope you guys understand that. And that being said, let's go on with the predictions. I think it's going to be very hard to um, predict some of these matches just because of the whole situation that we're in. Because in some situations they could want to end the feud right then and there, and then you can kind of figure out where they're going to go. But in some indications they can maybe want to expand the feud once they start getting back and once they start doing more shows and things like that. So particularly like our first match right now, it's Otis versus Dolph Ziggler, right? This has been going on for a couple months now. Back when Otis was getting he was having it getting he was falling in love with Mandy and everything like that. And there's a lot of things going on here that are really, really good. There's this mysterious text that Mandy Rose got saying, that or Otis got that said that, Mandy was running late, and then there was a text that Mandy got from Otis, something like that. So there's all bunch of things here that could be going around. Who did the text? The theory is that Sonya Deville sent the text to both Mandy and Otis, saying, "Hey, listen, or at least from Mandy to Otis, about the text message that that she was running late or something like that." So there was that. Because she doesn't want Mandy to be with Otis. She wants Mandy to be with Dolph Ziggler. So that's the running theory, and I think they could have if this was normal, they could have continued on with that storyline, because the rumors was it was going to be a 6-man tag between Heavy Machinery and Mandy versus Dolph Ziggler, Bobby Roode, and Sonya Deville, but it hasn't happened that way for obviously because this coronavirus has really hurt everything. So that's what I'm saying. What they could do is they could give Dolph Ziggler the win, right, to keep this going, and then at some point down the line, have it be so that Mandy finds out that it was Sonya who did who tried all of this, and then they can do the 6-man tag. Um, but so I think this is a really tough one. This really is, but you want WrestleMania to place where you kind of want to see Otis finally get his hands on Ziggler and take what's right. Get back some dignity, so to speak. I guess you could say. So this one is a tough one. It really is. But I I'm gonna go with Dolph Ziggler. I'm gonna go with Dolph Ziggler just because I think that it just. Do I want to go with Dolph Ziggler? God. Oh yeah, I'm gonna switch it. I'm gonna say Otis. I'm gonna say Otis wins, but mark this down. I'm gonna mark it down that my original one was Dolph Ziggler, but I'm going to say Otis wins this one, and we'll see what happens. See if they just drop the storyline, or if they continue on to keep it to that when everything does get back, and they can start filming again at from the performance center, or even start, or even when they do it in front of a crowd. Because I think that's really what you want, right? You really want Otis, to get his hand, get Ziggler in front of a crowd. The crowd has been so into this match, into this storyline, and so um, yeah. But I'm gonna go with Otis, noting the fact that Dolph Ziggler was my first choice. Next, Elias is taking on King Corbin. This match just recently was just made in the last couple of weeks. Last night on SmackDown, King Corbin threw Elias off the platform at the Performance Center. So yeah, we'll see where this goes. Um, I think I think this is yeah. I mean, Elias should win, but King Corbin is he needs to win because he just came off of losing a feud with Roman Reigns. So King Corbin is going to be the victor here, but Elias should win. And another match that was made very recently, Aleister Black takes on Bobby Lashley. Now, Bobby Lashley has been quarantined, so this is one of these matches that may not happen on WrestleMania, because I think he was over in South Africa on a promotional tour, and then once you come back to this country, you have to be quarantined for a while. So who knows if this match was even done, and who match this match would even it could be changed. At this point in time, again, I'm going like I said earlier. Since this match was announced, I'm going to predict it. But if this match doesn't happen or if it changes, you know, then this match will not count unless it's changed before next week. And when I do post production, at that point I'll make another prediction and we'll keep it on the record. That being said, I'm going with Aleister Black. I kind of think this should be. They really wanted Aleister Black to be a star. Paul Heyman does. So I think Aleister Black is going to be the star of this night. And this if this match does happen, it could be one of those matches that steals the show in an audience of none. But yeah, so I'm going with Aleister Black. So another match that again could change or not even happen at all. And I mentioned this. This is one of the matches that I mentioned. The SmackDown Tag Team Championship match. It's a ladder match between The Miz and Morrison, the Usos, and the New Day. Again, last night they had a number one contenders match. They did the whole thing where it was Miz and Morrison did the whole thing and they made it together. It was made a ladder match. But again, the Miz has been sick, and he was one of the reasons why. Again, that the Roman decided that he was not going to participate in this. Um, so again, this could be called off. This could be, undone. But the way I see it, and the way they've been talking about, they're talking about the championships, right? They're talking about the New Day, being 8-time, and Usos looking to tie New Day be 7-time, and Miz and Morrison, greatest tag team of the 21st century, and yada yada yada. I just think this would be the Usos night. I really do. And for the most part, I think this has been building up to this. It was. I wouldn't be surprised if this was supposed to be the Miz and Morrison versus the Usos, but because everything that went down, with everything that's happened, they changed it to the New Day in there and made so that it could be a ladder match, and they made it a ladder match. So I think it's going to be incredible. And it's going to be also interesting to see how they do a ladder match in an empty arena uh, with no fans. So is it going to be all of these high spots and high bumps and these ridiculous things, or are they just gonna just every now and then just you do what Sean and Razor did, and not try to do crazy spots, set up ladders all over the place, but just use the ladder as a weapon. You know, it'll be interesting to see where they go with that. But I'm gonna go with the Usos, and they'll be your new 7-time WWE Tag Team Champions. Another match that was just recently made, the Street Profits, Raw Tag Team Champions, will take on Austin Theory and Angel Garza. Again, like I said earlier, Andrade has been sick. He's been taken removed from the match. Austin Theory was put in, so I guess it's because all the NXT people are down there, so he decided to throw in Austin Theory since he was doing nothing, and so he's going to be in that match against the Street Profits for the Raw Tag Team Championships. Um, if Andrade was wrestling, I would be willing to think that they would maybe take the titles off the Street Profits. But I kind of think that this is the Street Profit. Obviously, and everything's going on. They're gonna keep it safe, keep the Street Profits. They should have a pretty darn good match, and the Street Profits will retain the Raw Tag Team Championship. The Intercontinental Championship is on the line as Sami Zayn takes on Daniel Bryan. Last night, Drew Gulak beat Shinsuke Nakamura so that Daniel Bryan can get this title match with Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn just won the Intercontinental Championship. Um, and normally I would say that I could see Daniel Bryan winning it, put Sami Zayn on it for just 1 month. But I think, again, with everything that's going on, they want to keep status quo, the status quo with certain championships. Certain championships they want to keep the status quo. Some other ones I think are yes, some I think are um able to be changed because that's the way they were going to go, right? You know, so that they're going to keep, and they're going to keep it, and they're not going to do a title switch just to be a title switch. And I think that's right here with the Intercontinental Championship. I think they're going to keep the title on Sami Zayn. Also, note the fact that Daniel Bryan recently just said that he believes that his time as a full time wrestler is is over. Uh, so he's probably not going to be a full time wrestler. So at some point this year, we're probably going to see Daniel Bryan. Now, I wouldn't even say retire. I would just probably say put it back. He'll probably do, he may do the thing that Drew Gulak is doing. He may become Drew Gulak's manager, and then he may, wrestle from time to time here and there. But I think he's going to take a little on back. I don't think he's fully retiring, but like you say, he's not going to be a full time wrestler. He's going to be a part timer. So that's why I say, for me, I think if this was a normal setting in a normal time, I would see them putting the title on Daniel Bryan, but I think because of everything that's going on, they just want to get through this, and this is one of the things where they don't need a title change just for a title change. So they're gonna keep the title on Sami Zayn. Our next match is Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins, the Monday Night Messiah, going up against Kevin Owens, man of the people, I guess you could say, right? Great promo from Seth Rollins, almost, and this is almost one of those things where it's a great promo, but it also could be foreshadowing what is going on and what's going to happen at WrestleMania. Because he talked about how Kevin Rollins has been disappointment after disappointment after disappointment at WrestleMania, and Seth Rollins has had triumph after triumph after triumph, and only one loss at WrestleMania. Otherwise, he has been superb at WrestleMania. And so this looks like it's good. Could this be the thing that puts over Seth Rollins, puts over Kevin Owens, beating Seth Rollins at WrestleMania, and that could be a great story that could be told by these two great athletes. And I think that's going to be told. I think Kevin Owens is going to win this one. It's going to be one of those battles where Kevin Owens, Seth Rollins could come in there maybe overconfident. Kevin Owens will surprise him. He'll get Kevin Owens down, but then Kevin Owens will make his comeback. He'll hit that stunner, and he'll get the victory. So I'm going to say Kevin Owens defeats Seth Rollins at WrestleMania 36. The Undertaker will take on AJ Styles in a boneyard match. Now, many people out there have guessed, me included, that a boneyard match is just a variation of the buried alive match. But they're calling it the boneyard match because it could be deemed insensitive at this point in time where people are dying due to this deadly disease, to have something called a buried alive match, something having to do with death. I kind of feel like that's where they're at. And it can maybe people may even even deem this insensitive, that they may be doing something like with a graveyard or something like that. This match make fight in. So, um, I think they're also doing this to get over around Undertaker's physical limitations in the ring as well. Um, so yeah, I think this is a very interesting series that they're going about, and one of these ways they're going about it is that they've kind of tried to take down the mystique of the Undertaker in some form of fashion, while calling him Mark, and showing him doing the video with the Tigers, and talking about his wife Michelle. So all of this could be very, very interesting, because could they be doing this to get AJ Styles, to get AJ Styles over, get AJ Styles win, and finally, once and for all, retire the Undertaker? Or is this just stuff to try to get more heat onto this match? And personally, I was not a fan of this. I'm not a fan of the promos, of him basically calling out Undertaker's real name, and I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of I think when you do the Orton Kofi storyline, that works, right? That works because of this rumor that Randy Orton kept Kofi Kingston down. So and that kind of like it that that real life stuff brought into the kayfabe world works for me. I can feel that. But when you start using their real names, and you start doing other things like that, okay, yeah, that's yeah. I don't find that interesting anymore of a way to try to get heat for your match. I really don't. So, um, but listen, I'm choosing the Undertaker, but I would not be surprised if AJ Styles does win, because there's been rumors that Undertaker sees AJ Styles as this generation Shawn Michaels, so he may want to see. He may want to try to get one last match out of him, and maybe he wants to give that to AJ Styles. But my pick is The Undertaker. The SmackDown Women's titles on the line as Bayley takes on Lacey Evans, Tamina, Naomi, and Sasha Banks in a fatal five-way. This is supposed to be a six-pack challenge, but Dana Brooke felt sick, and they decided to take her off as they should, and it's just a fatal five-way match now. Now, you know what I said about them keeping the titles the same just for no reason at all, right? Just so that they can just continue on. Well, I will say this. This There was some talk last night when Tamina came out there and they had Tamina stand tall. There was something on Twitter where one of the guys said, "Well, mark my words, Tamina is going to walk away with the title," and that reminded me of WrestleMania 32, the Intercontinental ladder match. Zack Ryder was added last minute, right? He was added last minute because either somebody got injured, or for whatever reason he was added last minute, and he won the IC title match. He won it. So I said that don't be surprised if Tamina walks away with the SmackDown Women's title. I'm telling you guys, don't be surprised if Tamina walks away with the SmackDown Women's title. I'm not predicting it though. To me, it's between Bayley, Lacey Evans, or Naomi. One of those three are going to walk away with the title. I don't think Sasha Banks is going to get it. Um, I don't think Tamina's going to get it. So it just depends on which way they go. And they can go in many different ways. If you go back and you watch the video that I put out last week, um, about my Sasha Banks versus Bayley um, thing, where my fantasy booking of how do we book their rivalry on the main roster leading to next year's WrestleMania at the new Los Angeles Stadium in WrestleMania 37. Um, I say that Bayley, loses the title here. Loses the title here. She gets a couple of rematches. Sasha Banks gets a match, and then because they want that gold and they want that money because that's how Sasha tweets about now is money. Um, Now they go into the tag titles, and then they go after the tag titles. They win those, and then slowly but surely, piece by piece, they start to chip away, and dissension erupts, and it ends up them breaking away, and they end up fighting in next year's WrestleMania, and doing trying to do what they did on the main roster on NXT. So there are many ways that they can go about this. That's one way I would like to see them, but I'm gonna go ahead and say, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say that Bayley loses the SmackDown Women's title.
Yeah, you did fuck that up.
No, sorry, retains the SmackDown Women's title. She wins, and the way I'm going to say is I think that there could be a possibility of where maybe something like Lacey Evans or Tamina Knox, they finish Sasha Banks. And they do the thing where they hit their finishing move. Bayley throws them out, and then covers Sasha Banks. So then maybe start the dissension there. That's one way they could do that. So yeah, I'm gonna say Bayley retains the SmackDown Women's Championship. NXT Women's titles on the line as Rhea Ripley takes on Charlotte Flair. And this one, I think, this one might be hurt the most because of the entire thing that's going on right now. Because Sasha and Ripley haven't been able to, you know, do what they need to do. The last time we saw it, they were in the Performance Center, and Charlotte came down and kind of put the figure four on her on the ring post, and so there was, and really there hasn't been anything since between these two ladies. Um, Rhea did a promo package the last week on NXT when they did the whole package show, and Charlotte Flair did a promo. Uh, was it last week or was it this week? It was, or was it Monday? It was Monday. Yeah, Monday. I think it was Monday. She did a promo on Rhea Ripley. So yeah, they just haven't been able to have any type of face-to-face interaction or anything like that. Um, so it's almost, you almost kind of forget it. But and again, this is one of those things where I believe before all of this, Charlotte Flair was winning. She was winning the NXT Championship. Um, However, I again, I kind of wonder that if it's just not safer to keep Rhea as the champion right now, and then and just do everything. And one of the things that you know, all of this is kind of, the rumors are that all of this is kind of a make good for Charlotte Flair, because Charlotte Flair was promised a lot of things. She was promised the main event of WrestleMania against Ronda Rousey, and she got it kind of. Becky Lynch got hot, and she had, and they kind of had to put her in the thing. I say they kind of had to, otherwise the crowd would have, these entitled fans, they just would shit all over the match between Ronda and Charlotte Flair. Becky wasn't in there. And I still kind of think they shouldn't have put Becky in there, but it's neither here nor there. So yeah, so they've got, so Charlotte Flair was done some things, so they wanted her to have a really big match at WrestleMania, and she's wrestled Becky long enough, she's wrestled Bayley, so they decided to do this thing with Rhea Ripley for NXT Women's Championship, and I thought that Charlotte Flair would be the winner. But see, again, with everything happening, that they could easily just keep this match. They could have a great, fantastic match, have Rhea Ripley beat her, so that they could keep the title on her. Because then, once Charlotte Flair. My thing was this: is what I thought they were going to do. I thought they were going to have Charlotte Flair beat Rhea Ripley. And then the next night on Raw, have her, say, I've done everything that I was supposed to do. I beat Rhea Ripley. NXT is beneath the Queen, and then drops the NXT Women's title, right? And I guess they still could do that, but you do that. You want to. I just don't know. Screw it, whatever. I'm gonna pick Charlotte Flair. I'm gonna pick Charlotte Flair. She becomes the new NXT Women's Champion. Um, and I'm gonna stay with my first prediction. She wins it, and then she goes the next night on Raw, and she gives it back up. So then it's the NXT is up is vacant, and they're gonna have a ladder match, and then they can easily put the title in the ladder match, whatever. But I'm picking Charlotte Flair. Raw Women's titles on the line as Becky Lynch defends against Shayna Baszler. They made Shayna look like a total beast in this feud. What she did to the women on Monday Night Raw and the way she's attacked Becky Lynch. Last Monday was the first time really that Becky really got one over on Shayna Baszler by hitting her with the steel chair during her interview. But I kind of think they wouldn't do this. This is one of the matches that I was talking about. I was talking about they wouldn't change the title just to have a ridiculous title change. That they would change it because they needed to change it because that's the way it was looking towards. So I think that's why WrestleMania is going to continue on as the way it is. So I think they decided to go ahead and go with Shayna Baszler, and that's what I'm picking. So I kind of think that. And also, there are rumors that um, Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch wanted to have time off so that they can go and get married and have their honeymoon. Now, with everything that's going on now with coronavirus, that may have been put on hold, their whole marriage and honeymoon and things like that. But that doesn't take away the fact that they still can have Shayna Baszler beat Becky Lynch. So I'm sticking it with Shayna Baszler. I think this is one of these ones that's a given. Shayna Baszler beats Becky Lynch. If Shayna Baszler does not beat Becky Lynch, then what the hell was all that rest of that stuff for? Her running through the entire Raw roster. I'm not gonna say bury because Shayna Baszler didn't bury. WWE didn't bury those women. However, you did put them in that situation to look bad so that Baszler could look strong. So you better give her the title. Well, that was all for naught. Shayna Baszler. John Cena takes on the Fiend Bray Wyatt in a Firefly Funhouse match. Now, who knows if this is going to be a Firefly Funhouse match if everything stayed normal. But this is one of the reasons they say they were doing this Firefly Funhouse match is because so that they can do it on another location or another part of the town and things like that. They can record it. They can make it trying to make it cinematic and everything like that. So we'll see what happens. I know a lot of people out there are worried that John Cena will beat the Fiend, and, and that will put down, um, and that will put down in a way, John Cena, right? They'll put down the Fiend for good. And to me, I don't know if that's worried. I think John Cena kind of knows now that I think John Cena, he's just there to put over the Fiend. I think that's what John Cena knows now. John Cena knows now that he's no longer here to go after championships. He's no longer here to try and make the kids happy or anything like that. I think he kind of knows his role. His role now is to like to give people the rub. So I can't see John Cena beating the Fiend Bray Wyatt. I really can't. That doesn't mean that I wouldn't be. It doesn't mean that it cannot happen. I don't because I will say this: if they wanted to just get rid of the Fiend character altogether, and they could do that. They could have John Cena just completely dominate the Fiend and then have him put him away for good. Because a lot of people feel that this whole thing with Goldberg beating the Fiend, that that ended the Fiend character altogether. That how is the Fiend going to come back from this? And I said that the Fiend's character was dead at the Hell in a Cell pay per view when they had him kick out a they had him do Seth Rollins do 18 stomps. It made no sense. It was stupid. It was bullshit. So and they made the Fiend just trying to be this character that it wasn't, and I think that's what nobody wanted that nobody wanted the Fiend to be that. They wanted the Fiend to be like this demented, psychotic character that comes out in Bray Wyatt when he needs it to be, right? When he's needed to be, when he's needed to be, that person, then it happens, but not when it was, not when it was this. Not the way they try to portray him as this unbeatable, unstoppable monster, and that just it didn't make sense from the get go. So while I understand why they would do that, have John Cena beat the Fiend so that they can kill the Fiend character off for good, I don't think that's what's going to happen here. I think this is almost a no brainer. In fact, if I had $200, I would put my $200 on the Fiend beating John Cena at WrestleMania 36. So my prediction will be the Fiend beating John Cena. Maybe the most emotional story that we have seen in a long time. Edge versus Randy Orton in the Last Man Standing match. This, these are two big time veterans, and this is going to be, I think, epic. I do. I think this is going to be epic. I think this is going to be maybe one of those things that gives each man their first 5-star singles match. Because we know Edge has been a part of the TLC matches that were 5 stars, and I think Randy Orton may have been a part of a he was part of that Survivor Series match several years ago, the Raw vs SmackDown that lasted an hour. I think him and Bray Wyatt were actually the survivors. They were the survivor for the SmackDown crew. That was a 5-star match. So but I don't think either man has a 5-star singles match to their credit, and this could give them both of theirs, their first one, because the emotion, the passion, everything that's happened and went down, and this could just be truly amazing. Their promos have been amazing. The story has been incredible. Really, there hasn't been really any. I think the only thing I would say is when Edge came back a couple weeks ago on Raw, and they had MVP a part of it. I had no idea why he's in that, but that was kind of a type of angle, a part of this feud that didn't need that didn't give me it, but other parts have been incredible. So, um, as for my prediction of who's going to win this match, um, I think again this is one of those things where if it was a normal type of thing, I could see where they would let Randy Orton win and then take this to SummerSlam and maybe even down later on in the year to Hell in a Cell where Edge could truly finally get his revenge on Randy Orton inside the Hell in a Cell, and that still could maybe happen. But boy, I kind of think they want to make you know you know this is one of those things where while they can do that, it just makes more sense in this type of setting to give Edge the victory, so that whatever happens in the future, because you know obviously we know that um, there are no more mass gatherings, and where the performance center is in Orlando, Florida, they have been they are now under a shelter in place. They are now locked down up until April 9th. which would be this would be the Thursday before SmackDown, and they could that could be lifted, meaning that they could go back and start to do live shows again from the Performance Center, or that could mean that they can't, and then what do they do now? They're stuck. They're stuck until they can get the go ahead to do so. And who knows when they're going to get that go? It could be it could be another 8 to 12 weeks. It could be June 1st before they are allowed, where anything is allowed. Not only WWE, but any type of sports, tennis, golf, basketball, baseball, are allowed to have these mass gatherings again, and are allowed to come out from from their shelter and and do these things. So if that's going to be said, then I think you have to make sure that the edge the edge gets gets his revenge on Randy Orton, and then if 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 things go the same way and you want to have this feud continue, then you can do it later on. But you have to make this thing that Edge gets the better of Randy Orton. So I'm predicting Edge. Finally, the WWE titles on the line as Brock Lesnar takes on Drew McIntyre. Now, Drew McIntyre is my prediction here, and really to me, I think that what really put it over the edge for me was this week. Recently, there has been some stuff that's come out online. Um, Not only with a video of a couple weeks ago, where um, the Drew and Brock did that thing in the ring where Drew came down, Brock left, and he tried to attack him. He hit him with a claymore. He went back to the back. Brock Lesnar, selling his ass off, comes up to the ramp, gets claymored again, and afterwards he's laying on the floor and he yells to Drew, pick up the belt. So Drew goes over there to raise the belt, and then of course he gets another claymore, and the crowd chants one more time, and they do it one more time, um, and it's amazing. And then Drew has even said that, and then Drew said in an interview that Brock has done everything he could to make Drew look as great as he can be. And so to me, if all of this, they're doing all of this to make Drew look great, to make Drew, to make Drew the star, the future star, then he has to win, right? I mean, he has to. It just makes sense. If Drew does not win, this would be, this would be just it. Now, we said that a couple years ago, WrestleMania 34, winning the Universal title from Brock Lesnar, and that didn't happen. So it could very well be, that way, right? It could very well be that way that Drew doesn't get the victory, but I doubt it. I think Drew wins, and again, this is one of those things where this is something where the reason why they're continuing on with WrestleMania because they have to get the title off of Brock onto Drew, and then we'll see what happens later on down the line. So my prediction is Drew McIntyre wins the WWE Championship. All right, so let's once again go over my predictions. Otis beats up Dolph Ziggler, even though I originally predicted Dolph Ziggler, so we'll see what that happens. King Corbin to defeat Elias, Aleister Black to defeat Bobby Lashley, the Usos to win the Triple Threat ladder match, the Street Profits to retain, In the Raw Tag Title match, Sami Zayn to retain over Daniel Bryan, Kevin Owens to beat Seth Rollins, The Undertaker to beat AJ Styles, Bayley to win this Fatal 5-Way, Charlotte Flair to win the NXT Championship, Shayna Baszler to win the Raw Women's Championship, The Fiend, Bray Wyatt to beat John Cena, Edge takes out Randy Orton, and Drew McIntyre winning the championship over Brock Lesnar. Again, to also remind you, I did not do the rumored women's tag title match between the Kabuki Warriors and Bliss and Nikki Cross because it has not been announced at the time of the recording. Also, with Roman Reigns being taken out of the Universal title match, the rumors are that Braun Strowman will be in, but however, the way they are going through this is they seem to have, you know, they're doing whatever they're doing. So I don't have no idea. So I did not make a prediction for that. Again, if those two matches are announced before post production happens, then you will see a graphic on the screen. You would have seen the match graphic on the screen before this ending, where I would have given you predictions of those matches or any other matches that have been added. Um, or changed. Because again, the Miz is sick, so who knows what happens with that ladder match? It could just be canceled altogether. The same thing for Aleister Black and Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley was doing a tour in South Africa, and he's been quarantined. Who knows if he's going to wrestle as well? All right, okay. All right, so there you go. So let's look back at my predictions. I was 6-2 at the Royal Rumble. I was 5-1 at NXT Takeover Portland. I was 6-1 at WWE Super Showdown and 6-1 at the Elimination Chamber. That made me see 6, 6, 18. That would make me 23-5. 23-5 on the year of predicting the WWE and NXT. So we'll see how much I'm kind of worried because this whole everything just there's no almost like no certainty on what could go down. There is nothing that seemingly could happen when it comes to this. So I don't know what's going to happen. Um, so hopefully I'm just over 500. I don't want to get I like to stay in single digit losses for a while. I really would. But so who knows? I had 5 losses. I don't want to have 5 more losses come to this. By the way, if you may be wondering why I did not do NXT Takeover, if you have not heard about that, they just canceled NXT Takeover, and they're gonna be doing Takeover matches, the matches that were scheduled for NXT Takeover, the Triple Threat North American match, the Women's Ladder match for the #1 contendership. I think Adam Cole and Velveteen Dream and also the Gunner and Ciampa. All those matches are going to happen over the next 2 weeks of NXT tapings. So all of that should go down as well. But so yeah, no NXT takeover predictions or anything like that. But yeah, so let's go ahead and let's see what happens, and let's hope for the best. Let's hope that these wrestlers stay safe. They are, they're trying to do stuff for our entertainment to try to, anything like that does not cause them anything, especially with people like Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns who are more susceptible to get the coronavirus and to get this disease because of their autoimmune deficiencies with their prior things. I'm not sure. Obviously, the leukemia, the two bouts of leukemia from Roman. I'm not sure what Daniel Bryan has, but he's susceptible as well. Maybe some being a vegan. No, I'm just kidding. Vegans don't come at me. but but yeah, and then probably many others. Hopefully, The Miz, Rey Mysterio, who's been quarantined, Andrade, Daniel Brooke, all of the people who have been sick, who are sick or have been sick or anything like that. Hopefully, they are safe as well. Um, it's gonna be a weird time that we are in, because again, like I mentioned a little bit earlier. Even though the stay at home for Florida and Orlando is supposed to end on April 9th, again, we could very well be way longer than this. And it could end up being where not only is there no WWE wrestling, there's no AEW wrestling, there's nothing at all on television. So with all sports all together. So we are in a total big, in a very, very big, crazy world that we're living in right now. So yeah. But we will have to wait and see. Let's, if we can, get our minds off this thing and let's enjoy 2 nights of WrestleMania. Post your comments down below. Tell me what you guys think. Let me know your predictions of what's gonna happen at WrestleMania on both nights. And let me know what you guys think about everything that's going on. Have you been enjoying these empty arena shows? Have you not? Does it matter because you just want a little, you know, escapism more than ever? Let me know down in the comments section. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. Go to www.com. Go to www.patreon.com/AJTrip to become a Patreon. When I hit the specific number of Patreons, you will be able to figure out what goes down on my YouTube channel, on my Twitch channel, and on my podcast. So make sure you go to patreon.com/AJTrip and sign up and become a Patreon. I mean this now more than ever before. Please be good to each other, y'all. Be careful out there. And I am out.